Imagine wandering through the bustling streets of China, where every corner holds a story, some more chilling than others. While the notorious number 37 Lin family mansion in Shanghai sends shivers down the spines of locals, let's save that tale for another night. Our focus tonight is on another eerie landmark, nestled in the heart of Guangzhou's Liwan district. Welcome to Liwan Plaza, not just a monumental six-story shopping paradise with over 2,000 shops and surrounded by apartment buildings, but, according to locals, this is also a place that is said to host more than just the living. Here, in this bustling hub where life seems to thrive, a peculiar twist lurks in its very name, displayed in huge signs on the building's front for all to see. You see, in the specific way that the character Guang in Liwan Plaza is written, it disturbingly mirrors the character for a corpse. This unfortunate resemblance, however, isn't just a figment of overactive imagination. In the fluid dance of running script and simplified Chinese calligraphy, the strokes of the character Guang is indeed eerily similar to the character for a corpse. This led to a nightmarish play on words that sounds like Liwan Corpse Plaza. Critics would argue this resemblance is mere coincidence, shaped by the subjective lens of calligraphy where even a slight curl can tell a different tale. At face value, there's certainly an element of coincidence. However, beneath the bustling life of today's Liwan lies a forgotten whisper of its past, one that lives up to its grim nickname. The ground upon which this shopping paradise stands was once a densely packed slum, shadowed further back in time by its use as a mass burial ground. This chilling lineage brands Corpse Plaza not just a nickname, but a memorial to a site marred by death, making its modern-day facade all the more haunting. In Chinese folklore, mass burial grounds are laden with ominous energy and are often associated with hauntings and misfortunes, similar to how Western cultures might view historically troubled or haunted lands. These places are thought to disturb the balance of feng shui. In Chinese beliefs and practices, having good feng shui means the location has harmonious flows of energy and would bring longevity, health, and prosperity. The disruption of this balance, or having bad feng shui, brings about adverse effects on the living. And the site of Liwan Plaza is marred by all kinds of distress and disruptions. During the development of the plaza, to expedite construction, residents were pressured to relocate, often through illegal means. In August 1993, a mysterious fire broke out, resulting in 24 deaths, 12 injuries, and over 100 people left homeless. From its past as a mass burial ground, to the tragic fire that killed 24 people, and then to the continuous reports of people falling from the building after its completion, it truly became a massive corpse plaza. The fire caught the city's attention, and to appease public outcry, authorities quickly investigated, pinpointing a suspect and jailing the developer. The disaster temporarily halted the demolition work. Yet, apart from those who died or were injured in the fire, the remaining residents began to move out voluntarily, even without being pressured. Why was that? Well, after the fire, eerie stories began to circulate. It was said that after midnight, one could hear the cries of children, women wailing, men shouting, and the sound of elderly people playing Mah Jong. Normally, such sounds wouldn't be out of place in a populated area. What was strange, however, was that anyone trying to trace these sounds would be led to the charred ruins. There, amidst the darkness and the stench of burnt debris, they would hear disembodied crying and talking. 6 months later, all remaining residents had moved out, all on their own. Meanwhile, the developer, still detained in custody, suddenly passed away from a heart attack. Liwan Plaza was a government-endorsed project that turned controversial due to the developer's use of forceful eviction methods. With the developer paying the ultimate price for his actions, it seemed the matter would have been settled, and the project needed to continue. After all, there was so much potential for businesses to thrive and for the city's economics to grow. Plus, there was the support from the central government, and these all made it too lucrative for the city to just abandon. Soon, a second developer took over the site. However, construction hadn't even proceeded for a month before a tragic accident occurred. A scaffold worker fell to his death due to a snapped safety harness. It wasn't just bad luck for the worker. The new developer was also unlucky, as the worker, being new, hadn't been insured yet, forcing the developer to compensate out of pocket. But the compensation was deemed insufficient by the worker's family, who then placed a mourning halt right on the construction site to exert pressure. The developer had no choice but to pay an additional sum to placate them. Yet, the misfortune didn't end there. During the Lunar New Year, when most workers had gone home, leaving only two behind acting as security guards, one elder was bitten by a stray dog that had entered the site. At the time, with mobile phones not yet widely available, he couldn't inform the boss. Considering his injury to be rather minor, he had it bandaged and thought little of it. As workers returned after the Lunar New Year, the elder's wound had healed, and he paid it no more attention. However, by the end of the first lunar month, he suddenly fell ill and passed away within a week. Found dead among the ruins with a bloody face, it appeared as if he had been bitten by something. There were three theories regarding his death: a dog bite, a human bite, suggesting a madman's act, and most bizarrely, a jiangshi bite, referring to a type of reanimated corpse in Chinese folklore. Sustaining themselves by biting and sucking the living fores from their victims, often dressed in official garments from the Qing dynasty. The notion of a jiangshi, while outlandish, adds a chilling layer to the mystery. It turned out that during the digging of the building foundation, they dug up a coffin from the Qing dynasty containing an ancient corpse. Normally, finding ancient tombs on construction sites requires reporting to the government archaeological department, leading to an official excavation. However, this reckless developer saw that the coffin didn't contain any valuable burial goods and chose to hide the discovery to avoid delays and instructed his workers to just burn it instead. When the authorities were tipped off about the smoke and smell, they were alarmed at the prospect of another fire and quickly came to the site to check it out. The developer showered the authorities with drinks, gifts, and other hospitality in order to placate them. He explained that they were merely burning construction waste. Afterwards, the developer strictly warned the workers against speaking out, threatening dismissal and forfeiture of 6 months' wages, so the incident remained a quiet rumor among them. It wasn't until the mysterious death of the elder security guard that there was wider spread of the jiangshi bite speculation. Forensic analysis concluded the elder had lost his life to rabies, with his facial injuries self-inflicted in the agony towards the end of his life. This explanation was widely accepted, but to those who had been close to the incident and seen the body, it was obvious that this wasn't the case, as there were no traces of flesh or blood under the security guard's fingernails. To calm public speculation, an official archaeological expert clarified that an incinerated corpse could not reanimate to bite people. Yet this statement inadvertently suggested the unnerving possibility of unburned corpses reviving. After 2 deaths under his management and mishandling of the ancient tomb, the second developer was replaced. The third developer, a man from Hong Kong who was experienced in such matters, brought with him a master from Hong Kong. Together, they held a ritual before construction resumed, reselecting an auspicious date. Things went smoothly for a while, but this smoothness was short-lived. Whereas the previous developer unearthed 1 coffin, the new one found 7 more, totaling 8 when including the burned one. Consulting the master who, after examining the sites of all coffins and performed some calculations, declared this a work of the 8 coffins suppression of evil technique. Hearing this, the developer was petrified, fearing he had encountered a formidable curse, and sought the master's help in breaking it. The master explained that the plaza was situated on a dragon vein, a source of prosperity and bustling human activity since ancient times. Dragons, revered in Chinese beliefs as highly intelligent and auspicious beings, symbolize power, strength, and good fortune. These are majestic creatures that also, however, demand respect, proper interaction, and care to secure and maintain a harmonious relationship, underscoring the importance of aligning human endeavors with the natural and spiritual world. Unfortunately, the plaza sat atop 8 dragon teeth, spots of strong negative energy, hence the disasters. To counteract this, a sorcerer long ago had used the 8 coffin suppression of evil technique, sealing the bodies of 8 executed criminals in coffins to feed the dragon, preventing it from harming the innocent. Upon hearing this, the developer realized that the area's feng shui had been disturbed since the demolition began. No wonder the site was plagued with fatalities. The master was deeply concerned. With the technique disrupted, not only was the dragon disturbed, but its food source taken away, and the 8 malevolent spirits released. This was quite a dire omen. The developer was terrified. His only recourse was to cling to the master for help, who admitted his abilities were limited and suggested seeking help from Thailand, known for its significant Buddhist tradition and skilled practitioners. Eager for a solution, the developer promptly arranged for the master's journey, but the master had to prepare in Hong Kong first. The master went back to Hong Kong, but never returned. Desperate, the developer also went to Hong Kong to seek out the master, only to find that he had passed away in his sleep. The master was rather renowned in his field, having advised many celebrities on their careers, making him famous in many circles. His death led a lot of people to believe that it was the developer's fault, that his project had caused a backlash from malevolent spirits, earning him much disdain. Fearful and frustrated, upon returning to Guangzhou, the developer cited health issues and insisted on withdrawing from the project and urged the local authorities to find someone else more suitable for the job. Despite the substantial financial loss from terminating the contract, he was willing to accept all compensation costs. The leadership did not press him, advising rest and not ruling out future collaborations. After all, someone willing to work for free, leave midway, and then offer compensation is indeed a rare partner. But the project had to continue. While official statements did not acknowledge the supernatural, the authorities were somewhat aware of the site's eerie reputation. A rigorous search led to the appointment of the 4th developer, a former military officer and staunch atheist. He orchestrated a bold move at the sites of each of the 8 coffins. He had people set off lots and lots of fireworks, known to scare away malevolent spirits, and spread big bags of lime to render the sites so that negative energies could not return. This is somewhat like the use of holy water by Christians to ward off demonic forces. This act had seemed to cleanse the site, as no further deaths occurred until the plaza's completion. It soon became one of Guangzhou's most flourishing malls, and basically dispelling all the previous rumors. However, in 2004, the situation changed when 8 individuals took their own lives by jumping from the plaza, reigniting talks of the 8 coffins suppression of evil technique. Some hoped the quota of 8 passings might bring peace, at least temporarily, while the dragon's appetite was being sated. But the instances of individuals taking their own lives continued. On the 1st of May 2005, a man passed away after falling from Liwan Plaza. 3 years later, on the 4th of March 2008, another individual met a similar fate at the plaza. Subsequent years saw several more tragic incidents. On the 5th of November 2008, a man fell and met the same fate at the south gate of Liwan Plaza. On the 19th of July 2009, another individual ended their life in a similar way, near South Tower. On the 30th of January 2010, a young man leaped from the plaza, succumbing to the fall. Finally, on the 30th of May 2012, a young woman tragically jumped from the 4th floor platform of Liwan Plaza, resulting in her immediate passing. These individuals all tragically lost their lives after falling from the 4th and 5th floors, sadly turning these floors into notorious places. These tragic incidents have profoundly impacted the community and the legacy of the plaza, giving rise to a somber nickname reflecting the incidents, the Flying Immortals from Beyond. Furthermore, many more losses attributed to various other causes were recorded during this period. At this juncture, I strongly urge everyone to seek help and support if they're struggling with thoughts of self-harm. The pain and suffering associated with such actions are profound. However, there have been reports suggesting that some individuals who jumped may not have harbored a genuine desire to end their lives, but were instead influenced by mysterious voices. For instance, Mr. Liwan, a university student, survived a fall from Liwan Plaza in 2011 after landing on a cart filled with goods. While he sustained multiple fractures, his life was spared. Mr. Liwan later shared that he had only visited the plaza to purchase a small gift for his girlfriend's upcoming birthday. But from the moment he entered the mall, he felt increasingly agitated and confused. As he moved to the third floor, he heard a faint whisper encouraging him to ascend further. Feeling compelled, as if under a spell, he continued to the fourth and then the fifth floor, the voice persistently guiding him to go up, over there, step off. Mr. Liwan recalled a moment of clarity on the fifth floor platform, but then felt a sudden force that seemed to propel him forward, a sensation so real it seemed as if someone had physically shoved him. In 2014, a post appeared on a local Guangzhou forum detailing a chilling experience at Liwan Plaza. The poster, Ms. Xin Luo, was the owner of a shop in the plaza. She recounted that one early morning, while the mall was still nearly empty, she went to use the restroom. She was in her stall when she heard click-clacking footsteps approaching her, and then stopping right in front of her stall. Ms. Luo politely announced that her stall was occupied, but was only met with silence. Curiosity led her to peek under the stall door, where she saw feet in black shoes and white socks. She told the person that other stalls were empty, but still no reply came. Feeling scared, Ms. Luo tried to push away her terror by yelling, "Hey, what's the matter with you? Speak up. Are you trying to scare me?" At this point, she heard the restroom door open and the familiar cough of the cleaning lady, Mrs. Tien. She called out, and, relieved at Mrs. Tien's response, Ms. Luo looked again, but found that the feet had vanished. With Mrs. Tien present, her fear subsiding, she exited the stall and inquired if anyone had left the restroom, to which Mrs. Tien shook her head. She then checked the other stalls in the restroom, but found them all empty. Later, Ms. Luo spoke with many shop owners and workers in the plaza, but found no one with a similar experience. Convinced she had encountered a ghost, she investigated the plaza's past incidents and discovered that one of the individuals who had passed away after jumping in 2004 was wearing black shoes and white socks. While not many in the plaza have had direct ghostly encounters like Ms. Luo, numerous individuals have felt negative energies indirectly, such as hearing strange sounds or experiencing unseasonable chills. Many business owners tacitly acknowledge these occurrences but continue working in the plaza out of necessity. To seek peace of mind, they often hang bagua mirrors and stick talismans at their storefronts and inside their shops to ward off evil spirits. Liwan Plaza's recurring supernatural events have drawn much public attention, inspiring novels, comics, and TV shows based on its lore, and even prompting some to explore the site in hopes of uncovering the truth behind the legends. Besides curious citizens, feng shui experts have analyzed the plaza's layout as particularly ominous. Its central shopping areas sit in a depression flanked by taller buildings, with a passageway through the center. This setup created a sha, a term in feng shui referring to environmental conditions or setups that generate harmful energy. This particular sha is called the heart-piercing sha, whereby stale air continues to be circulated within the shopping area depression, while little fresh air was ever brought in. The effect is akin to being punched in the heart, or having an arrow shot through the heart, hence the name. The effect was exacerbated by the plaza's glass dome that concentrates the negative energy. Additionally, entering the plaza leads directly to escalators descending underground, a design considered inauspicious in traditional feng shui, where, in constructions for living people, the first staircases or escalators should ascend, not descend as they would in a tomb. Why then did fatalities only begin in 2004? Feng shui specialists believe that the fourth developer's unconventional methods, using fireworks and spreading lime, actually managed to suppress the negative energies, stabilizing Liwan Plaza's feng shui. However, this balance was disrupted by the construction of the underground passage on Kanwang Road and Minghui Building nearby in late 2002, undoing the suppressive effects of the fourth developer's methods. Ancient Chinese geomancy dictates that buildings should be guarded by mythological creatures in all four directions, namely, the azure dragon in the east, the white tiger in the west, the vermilion bird in the south, and the black tortoise and the snake in the north. In Chinese traditions, these four celestial animals in the four directions are believed to bring balance and protect anywhere from a house to a city to, indeed, a nation. An analogy in Christian traditions could be the symbol of the four evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, often symbolized by a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle, acting as cardinal protectors and providing guidance. Unfortunately for Liwan Plaza, the underground passage opening on Kanwang Road faces Liwan Plaza's South Tower's west side, introducing an open-mouthed white tiger sha, one of the most severe geomantic afflictions, heralding illness, disputes, financial losses, and violent deaths. Additionally, the towering Minghui Building to the west, which is not part of the plaza, is far taller than the old, lower buildings to the east of the plaza. As we saw earlier, the white tiger mythical beast guards the west, while the azure dragon guards the east. The Minghui Building to the west then becomes a towering white tiger looking down and ready to overpower the weak old azure dragon to the east, which are the low buildings to the east of the plaza. This setup, where the white tiger is larger than the azure dragon, violates another feng shui principle, creating a towering head of the white tiger sha, and can also bring about financial losses and bloodshed. After 2 years of accumulating negative energy from these sha, the plaza's malevolence was fully unleashed by 2004. Some might wonder why the plaza remains open despite years of incidents. Globally, high-rise buildings are associated with fall accidents. Even in smaller cities, such tragedies occur annually. From a practical perspective, the cost of developing a shopping mall is enormous, and closing a major complex due to individuals taking their own lives would be considered irresponsible. Suggesting to shut down Liwan Plaza over ghost stories is even more implausible. Official actions are unlikely to be taken lightly, at least not publicly. Any closure would require a justifiable reason, such as the Guangzhou Municipal Planning Bureau's proposal in February 2020 to demolish the plaza for neighborhood improvement, a plan that has since stalled. Some attributed this delay to the COVID-19 pandemic. Others speculate that authorities are cautious about hastily addressing this problematic site, preferring to deliberate longer to avoid further complications. In a surprising turn of events in 2023, Liwan Plaza has seen a renaissance of sorts, with significant renovations breathing new life into the once controversial site. Authorities have taken special care to update the plaza's signage, moving away from the ominous Liwan Corpse Plaza moniker, signifying a fresh start and a departure from its eerie past. This revitalization effort not only addresses past concerns, but also invites locals and visitors alike to rediscover Liwan Plaza, now a symbol of resilience and transformation. Since its opening in 1996, Liwan Plaza has had a significant history, once a shining beacon, now reborn with a promise for the future. Whether it remains or evolves further, its status as a widely discussed haunted location has cemented its importance in people's hearts. Decades or even centuries from now, when people speak of Guangzhou, the mysterious and now rejuvenated Liwan Plaza will undoubtedly be remembered, not just for its shadows but for its story of renewal. For those intrigued by the blend of modern development and lingering legends, the renovated Liwan Plaza offers an enticing chapter in the ever-unfolding story of Guangzhou. Liwan Plaza's mysteries are endless, and now we want to hear from you. Have you encountered its secrets or have theories about the strange occurrences? Share your stories and insights in the comments below and join our community of mystery solvers. Let's uncover the truths behind Liwan Plaza together. If you enjoyed today's program, please leave a like and subscribe for more updates. Your support helps us continue sharing unique tales.